Hello Beyblade fans and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we have the Beyblade X CX03 PerseusDark B as in bumper 680 Wedge. The shadowed hero has returned at last for Beyblade. And what do I mean by that? Well, PerseusDark is a homage and a reference to Gravity Destroyer and Gravity Perseus from Beyblade Metal Fight or Fusion or Masters, depending on what version you know. And of course, with the packaging, CX is a three main system where you have the main blade, the assist blade, which is bumper, and of course the lock chip, which is Perseus. You have the dark blade here in the corner with the Beyblade. Then you have, of course, PerseusDark himself. It is a defense type. And of course, we have the packaging at the back here. And that is, this is the back of the packaging. We have, of course, this is the back of the packaging. And of course, we have our main blader who owns it, which is Roji. And we have the gimmick up here, which is it can defend from all angles and counterattack when possible. This is PerseusDark, and the CX system switches into three major components. We have the lock chip, the assist blade, and of course the main blade. The main blade being dark, the chip being Perseus, and of course the bumper assist blade. And of course, we have our ratchet and our bit. Our ratchet is going to be 680, while the bit is Wedge. And of course, Wedge is a very interesting bit, as it does make a comeback from Beyblade Burst, when the last time we saw a Wedge bit was on Screw Trident and Crash Ragnarok. So this is the Beyblade all spread out. This is PerseusDark 680 Wedge and bumper. And first off, let's talk about the lock chip here. The lock chip is a purplish bluish color with a hint of black in the design here with the black line. It does have the illustrious Metal Fight design in the back with the square diamond that all Metal Fight bays used to have back in the day, and of course with Aero Pegasus having that motif as well. And of course it has the Perseus warrior in the motif middle there, with it looking straight one-to-one shot of the original motif. Then, of course, is our blade here, which is dark. And as you can see, the dark blade is pretty much comprised of metal on the outside with black outer bits on the upside. So you have these points going upward while the old Perseus was downward. So you have more attack points and more defensive capabilities from here, here, and here. And that metal should also help. And then in the back, of course, all of the CX bays are more molded to where the metal is everywhere and not just in the main blade or in the middle. And that is our Perseus blade with those up tilts. And of course, these two, all 6 of these metal lines right here. And of course, we have our new part, which is the assist blade known as Bumper. And if you think about it, there was a Beyblade called Arc Bahamut back in Burst that had a bump. And there was also Balder, who had Bumper Bite. So this is a return of the bumper phrase to Beyblade. And of course, Bumper has all these sides. Kind of looks like the armored defense from Metal Fight, to be honest with you, with all of these points right here, with all these contacts. This is supposed to help it defend, and each assist blade has its own height, so the bays are taller due to the assist blade adding in another chunk of height. So it could be taller, shorter, all depends on the orientation of the blade. Well, not the orientation, but more so on the way they advertise it / make the product. But we have the middle here for the chip, and then of course the smooth backside of Bumper with the X logo right here, and then each side almost like the eyes of Medusa, almost, in my mind. Like, the 3 little things remind me of the eyes of Medusa from Gravity. Then, of course, we have our 680 ratchet. It's a 6-sided ratchet in a good translucent purple and black. And it's the 80 height, which definitely is not the greatest of heights. And so we have 680 here in a cool purple and black translucent color scheme. And of course, our new part, one of the new parts being Wedge. And Wedge is on the same level of Rush, kind of. It has these 10 little bits right here, the 10 little claw points, where it can attach to the extreme line. And of course, we do have that little sharp tip in the bottom to be our defensive measure. And I don't know how it's going to perform. I'm very intrigued to see how the Beyblade performs with this performance tip, with the bit, because it's so different from anything else we've seen so far in Beyblade X. And just having that as its part is going to be very intriguing to see how it rolls in the stadium and how it spins and how it battles. PerseusDark test spin. 3, 2, 1. Very solid, very important way. It just goes right into the middle of the stadium, just like a defense type should. Very intrigued to see how it performs up against the list of bays that we have over here. Very aggressive from Wedge. Silver Wolf trying to maintain the center position here. Big hit from, ooh, another big hit. Stamina may not be great on this one. Another big hit. Big hits from Silver Wolf. Big hits from the warrior clad in black against the wolf trying to tear at its opponent. Silver Wolf stalking its prey before it attacks. It's gonna go under and attacking from behind. Perseus just stealing there in the middle. Will Silver Wolf ever hit? We'll see. That free ball really helps move it around, while Wedge just tries to keep it in the middle there. Big smash attack by Silver Wolf there. And Gear Needle sucks. Ooh, extreme dash. Big hit. Perseus won that. Golem Rock. Golem's just hitting the bumper display at this point. And it lost its ooh, big hit. Night Mail. Extreme dash. Extreme dash from PerseusDark. Big hit from Perseus. Ooh. It's the bit from Nightmail that makes it go. Down spike just goes crazy. Here it goes. Big hit. And both bays are CX custom extreme bays. And big hits from Wizardark while destabilizing Perseus, which is crazy. Even though PerseusDark dropped all these battles have been destabilized, which isn't the greatest, but we try our best here. I think it's Bumper and Wedge is I think Wedge and the height of the bay is just 680, and the Wedge isn't a good combination. Double extreme dash. Yeah, I saw that coming. Big hits from Drawn. And so, first off, before I talk about the CX line, let me talk about PerseusDark. And I want to say this for those who think I'm complaining about PerseusDark. This is not Gravity Perseus. This is PerseusDark. Gravity Perseus was back in Metal Fight, and yes, PerseusDark is back, but it's not Gravity Perseus. And for those thinking that it was going to be, I have bad news for you. It is not. It can barely defend. It is terrible with Wedge. It is way too tall, and it destabilizes a lot more than Wizardark. And I'm very nervous about combo testing and putting different combos on it, because if it can destabilize just from one hit from a tall bit and a tall ratchet, then imagine it on a shorter ratchet and on a shorter bit. What if it destabilizes from that too? We've seen that with Wizardark in the previous video where it destabilized. And with Drawn Brave, it can hit really hard. So imagine a small Beyblade or a tall one like Perseus getting smacked around by a speedy attack type. And you're basically screwed. And Perseus, I love the chip. I love the design of the chip. I love the design of the blade. I think the main blade is beautiful. I really like the way that the upward contact points swoop upward instead of downward like its predecessor. But I do not like the ratchet. I do not like the bit. I think 680 is terrible. You should have gone with a 670. I think that would have been better. I think Wedge should have been a little shorter, like a low Wedge maybe, because a lot of our defense types are terrible. And I think for a Beyblade known as Perseus, with the Perseus name, it should have been top tier. It shouldn't have been related to a terrible defense line. Beyblade X defense line of bays are bad, and I think Perseus unfortunately suffers from that. And I'm afraid of whatever the next Kerbex is, that they make it a stamina type, they make it a defense type. What's going to happen with that? Because that's more beloved than Perseus, I would argue. Those two are the top two besides Eldrago and Pegasus. So it's like, where did they go wrong here? And of course, you can always put like different combos on it and everything, but it could get destabilized. And that's the main problem with this bay, is it's too tall and destabilizes way too easily. And I think overall with CX as a line, Yes, it's too early to tell if it's going to be good or bad because there's only 3 Beyblades. Technically 5, but you technically can't even count the other 2 because they're just recolors of Perseus and Drawn. But out of the 3, my personal opinion would be Drawn, Arc, then Perseus. I think the exact way they came out, 1, 2, 3, is the way they are. Drawn Brave is such a vicious attack type. Whatever combo you were to put on it would dominate, I feel like. Like Low Rush, that's going to be fun. Even with the future of Gear Rush with the Fox Brush Beyblade, I think that would be great too. Seeing Gear Rush on that, on Drawn Brave, would be cool. I just think that with CX, I think the idea is there. The idea of having 3 pieces for the main blade, I agree and disagree with one of the things, and that's the assist blades. Yes, obviously that needs to be more testing. There needs to be more assist blades than just the 3 we have, Round, Bumper, and Slash. But just from the recent news video we saw of Hell's Reaper's turn, I feel like they're going to be very gimmicky going forward. And I really hope that's not the case because those will end up being like the frames or the chassis from Burst. And I'm just like, that's not what I signed up for CX. I signed up for Metal Fight customization, and I signed up for different heights, different blades, different strengths and negatives for the bays, and I'm just worried that they're going to hop into this idea of we can just throw whatever we want on it, and the performance doesn't matter. I will be doing more testings, more videos on CX, just doing the stock combos, and maybe once or twice doing a custom combo, seeing how that survives. But as of right now, CX isn't impressive, and I'm waiting for more bays to come where I can see how I feel, to have a better opinion than what I have now. And if you guys enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing, commenting, and liking, and we'll have more Beyblade X videos just like this one coming up shortly. I will see you in the next one.